Darlington, South Carolina, a track known as the Lady in Black, the track too tough to tame, the oldest super speedway in all of NASCAR / iRacing is right here, and it's in front of us tonight as the Captain Esports Network and the All American Racing Series presented by Whiteriver LLC make our first trip together to Darlington as we get you ready for the Southern 200. It is race number 4 on the ARCA schedule for the All American ARCA Series presented by Whiteriver LLC as we get you ready to rock and roll. It is going to be a fun night. I am the captain, and of course the questions are going to be asked. Who can keep the car clean tonight? Will Jonathan Cutlip continue his hot start to the season? Will we see a new winner? Will Mark Whitley break his bad luck string that he's had going on? There's so many answers that need to be done, and we'll find out tonight. After 200 miles of racing, 81 degrees, 46%, humidity 81 degrees, temperature-wise, cloudy, 11-mile-an-hour winds, and yes, there's a chance of meatballs. So my daughter's watching right now, just FYI. Anyways, enough of the randomness as we get ready to rock and roll here on this 1.366-mile track. That black bar, yes, I have not been able to figure out how to get that off the screen, but it's part of the SDK, and you'll see it when it gets launched and stuff. I'll figure it out eventually. But anyways, more importantly, as we get you ready to rock and roll. Point standings going into this race. Brandon Barkuski leads by 20 over Zach Henry. There's your two-time winner, Jonathan Cutlip. He's 26 back. Matthew Weeks and David Tooker, your top 5, with Heller, Bloom, and Carrington tied for 7th. Abril and Nardone tied for 9th. Your team standings, 25-11, leading Motorsports by 66. They jumped up 2 spots last week after their 1-2 sweep, I believe it was. CX Squared Racing, 78 back, 96 backs is TI Racing, and Fueled Up Racing, 100 back, entering tonight. Rookie of the Year standings, Zach Henry leads Ryan Ardone by 5. Tim Abril up back 6. Stephen Miles back 7. Larry McKenzie is back 9, and the all-important manufactured points. Now, last season there was one team, or one manufacturer, that did not score a single point. Good news, everybody has scored. Pontiac leads by 2 over Toyota, Dodge, Chevy, Porsche, and Ford in those orders right now. That is where we sit there. Patty Heller, hello. It's easy to do a pun there. Just saying. All right, we get you ready to rock and roll here this evening. We're about 5 minutes away from qualifying, and it's my opportunity to go start some trouble, and we're going to do so tonight. These guys have no clue, other than Casey, that I'm about to do this. There's a couple teams I didn't get a chance to. Now, the team, here's a little prerequisite. The team I'm about to go into, we have a relationship together. Yes, I do race with them in other leagues, so you're going to notice some references and things like that. However, in this league, I'm the broadcaster. They are the team. So let's go and jump in on TI Racing as they're ready to go racing here in moments. Yep, you guys are the first team I jump in as we do the channel surfing. Hello, TI Racing. Welcome to the league. I feel like I've seen you guys before.
Hello.
Hello.
Yes.
I feel like we know you from somewhere.
Yes,
How are
somewhere.
you?
Hey,
How are you, Captain?
I am good, Alex. You sound like you're talking from your bathroom sitting on the toilet.
Don't tell nobody.
Okay, 10-4. With that said, hey, Steven, guess what? He's not talking. He knows what's coming.
Oh, he does.
He does know what's coming. But, hey, Steven, I did tell my wife to embrace her problems. She gave me a hug.
Yes.
LOL.
Just saying. Hello, Dalton, by the way. Hope you make the race tonight.
Me too.
Oh, oof.
Anyways.
Me too.
Big oof.
Yes. So, by the way, if you, Jim Cook Chevrolet's the sponsor on, like, all these cars, I think, tonight. So, if you get a chance, everybody look at the back bumper of one of their cars tonight, and I want everybody to binge call Chris Lewis on Monday. Anyways, we move on from there. Let's go to, y'all good luck, by the way. All right, Pony Express up here. Let's go channel surf up to these guys here. Whole bunch of people I've never talked to in my life. There's the Cinnamon Toast Crunch guy. Let's see, there's Kyle. I haven't run a single lap around Darlington. I don't know what I'm doing per cell, per Discord. Nick, I don't think get him mixed up with Dalton or Logan Sargent. Zach Nurnberger, not to get confused with O.J. Simpson's character in the Naked Gun movies. Let's see, Nick Terrell just popped in, kind of like he pops in a wreck sometimes. Sorry, Nick, had to say it. And let's see, Stephen Thompson, whose mic's muted. How are we doing tonight, guys?
Have to
better
qualify to be able to wreck.
This is fair, but you've done a good job. I mean, you should race like you have a chip on your shoulder.
I'm just here so I don't get fined.
Attaboy. So
I need those the Cletus McFarlane like caster wheels on the side of my right hand side of the car.
the what?
True.
Wow.
Just put wheels on the side of the car. You'll maintain speed, never have to
Yeah.
brake.
I'm doing the Ross Chastain, but it's not by choice.
Yeah, don't do that. Austin, obviously you've been in the bad spot the last few weeks. I'm sure that does not help things. So how do you keep yourself from getting eaten like a piece of Cinnamon Toast Crunch?
Oh, this is my worst track. I am going to get eaten like a piece of Cinnamon Toast Crunch.
So is this a wreck you can see?
If I even make the feature, yes.
Oh, well, make sure you do that. You got like 2 minutes, so good luck. Good luck to you guys. I know we haven't talked before, but
Thanks for popping in.
have fun. Yeah, I'm glad I
Yeah.
could channel surf with you guys. Pony Express is his team's name, so maybe they'll get on the train and ride their way to the win tonight. Anyways, all right, up here to my favorite team name of all of team names in racing, Piston Broke. Yes, that's their team name. We got.
Can I
let's
say
see.
the F word yet?
No, thankfully, no. We've made it so far. Nobody has said Foxtrot yet. So we've got Chris Travis here in the 51 car. He and I have never talked before. We got Craig Martin, who shared a secret that I could probably share on the air if I wanted to right now, but I'm not going to.
He knows Lana Rhodes personally.
Yeah, who?
Lana Rhodes.
Oh, I thought you were going to say Ronda Rousey. I'm like, oh, I'm not messing with him anymore. There's Justin Ray, and then there's Fort Wayne's Tyler Burden / Kokomo / Comets with a K.
Also part of the local UAW 2209.
Yeah, wherever the hell that is. Anyways, so how are we feeling tonight, guys?
I'm
A
feeling
little more
stressed out.
confident than I thought.
Hopefully the practice we put in this week will help.
I see. Well, best of luck.
Help me.
Well, best of luck. You guys gotta go qualify, so I'm gonna leave you alone, and I'm gonna go cover qualifying. So best of luck.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Absolutely. As we got channel surfing, got to talk to 3 teams tonight, which is awesome. And we wish those guys nothing but the best of luck. And right now, let's go qualify for the Southern 200. First car on the track is going to be the Australian boomerang himself, Gareth McAllister, it looks like, in the triple. He thought better of it. He saw that track and said, no. This ain't happening, boys. Let's see. You know what? Pretty fast in practice. Let's get on this BetMGM car of Christopher Heller. Again, 1.366 mile track. It is a egg-shaped track. If you've never seen Darlington, you're in for a treat here. Let's just put it like that. You got to run it right up against the wall. A lot of stories behind this track. Down the back straightaway here, the fastest part of the track leads you to turn 3 and 4, which is actually a more narrow corner. So you let the car slide right up to the fence, almost getting a Darlington stripe. We'll talk about that later. As you'll get 2 laps, you do not want this car to get loose as Heller crosses the line first time by. And he's P2, 30-15, tied with Husby. Good lap by Husby there. Brantley Roden predicting a 77 on the pole again, so we'll see if that can happen. As Stephen Miles, the rookie, goes to the top 30-11, Penn to 5th, or 4th, I should say. And no pressure on Whitley right now, who actually clocks in. I did not see him on the pole. He was down in 16th right now. It's Kyle Heath to 2nd. Barkuski to 4th. Husby back to the pole. There goes Whitley to the top with a 29.92, as predicted. Great call there by Brantley. Cutlip 30.02 to 2nd. And let's go down to the bubble. 34 cars have run a lap. Let's check in with the Mark Martin scheme this week. Finley Fitzsimmons. Down the back straightaway into turn 3. You want to enter this corner low and let it slide up. He actually just goes in high. It's a different way of doing things. He's in the green right now, but let's see where he lands on the board. 30.2, he's 15th. And that knocks Larry Knoll from the field. Nick Terrell's now on the border. He gets knocked out by McKenzie. That puts David Feit on the border. And here's Zach Henry in this Pontiac. The undercurrent's number 39. See if he can knock out David Feit from the field. And across the line, he goes P3, 30.06, so that knocks Feit out. And now Casey Carrington, Mike Lemieux, and Matthew Weeks, the only three to qualify. And Matthew Weeks hasn't run a lap yet, so I don't know if he's having some power issues or what the deal is. Carrington goes to 14th. And that knocks out Gareth McAllister. Chris Travis on the board, or on the bubble now. And you got about a minute for Weeks or Lemieux to run a lap, or else Chris Travis will be in this race. Casey Green right now, 14th. And he jumps to 7th, 30-10. As the black bar makes an appearance back on my screen for some reason. I don't know why it's doing that. It's a glitch. I'm going to see if I can fix it. All right, so if a car doesn't get on the track right now, so it looks like it will be Chris Travis who will be in the race starting 36. Mike Lemieux and Matthew Weeks, who's actually top 10 in points, will not make the race, which is interesting because I could have swore I saw Matthew Weeks post in Discord today that he was excited for the race. I'm actually going to go investigate that, make sure that was he I read. There was me. All right. Matthew Weeks, 11:58 this morning, Darlington Day. Let's go. Hope I don't lose power. Uh-oh. He might have lost power. Thankfully, in our area, we did have some storms come through, too, but we didn't lose power here at the house, which is good because I would have needed it for the broadcast. I don't have those thingies on the roof that everybody else has.
There's an extra little 2-minute break due to the heat format being the way it is.
All right, so
got about 7 minutes here before gridding, so feel free to
got
take
about
a break
7 minutes or so before we hit the grid. So congratulations
If you did not, thanks for coming out. Tough track, better luck.
Whitley again to get the pole. So let's
Appreciate
actually,
the support,
is Whitley in our channel? Let me see if Whitley's here. He's been hiding on me usually. I see our second place starters in here. Hey, Brantley, if you got any connection to Whitley, see if you can jump in chat real quick. I talked to him before he starts. Let's talk to...
G'day, David.
Let me get Chris Travis in here. As you hear chat, you heard Casey do his little spiel there on the air.
Hey, how's it going?
I just realized you guys are hearing all that, which is good. And yes, I've already said goodnight to my daughter, so you don't have to worry about that. With that said, let's talk to the driver of the 51, the Bubble Boy, tonight. I'm going to bring him up here. Chris Travis in the 51. Were you nervous?
Very.
Well, you qualified 36. You last on the field, but I got a stat for you. Do you know much about your racing history?
I know quite a bit.
Did you know that 80 cars started the first ever Southern 500?
And let me guess, number 36 won?
No. The 80th starting spot won out of 80.
Was it a demolition derby and he was the last one alive?
He actually, believe it or not, did not change a single set of tires all race.
No, I don't think that strategy will work tonight.
No, it will not. But what I'm trying to say is you're starting last like he did.
Yeah. I did 200 laps of practice here, so hopefully something stuck.
Well, so what's the strategy tonight? Because obviously patience for you is going to be huge.
Just survive. I've literally just downloaded this track 2 days ago, so never really ran it on iRacing.
Well, good news is the car is very, very, you can beat it up a little bit. Keep it off the wall. And if I can give you advice, race the track. Don't race any other car in the race.
That is the best advice I think I'm going to get all night. Thank
There you go. Best of luck, my man.
Thank you.
That's coming from somebody, by the way, whose favorite track is Darlington Raceway. Just say. All right, we'll move him to Piston Broke. Chris Travis here, the Bubble Boy, and Mark Whitley's here, so let's talk to him. Thank you for your help, Brantley. As Mark joins us tonight. Mark, on the pole again, 3 straight weeks. So outside of Daytona, you know how to qualify, I guess. But here's the problem. There's something that's gotten in the way each and every week. How do we stop that tonight?
To get rid of the magnet that's been attached to our rear bumper. That's what it's felt like. Felt like we just had a magnet and somebody just hit us in the back that's took us out 3 weeks in a row. So hopefully just outrun everybody where they can't get close enough, I guess.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, the mixed bag of strategies. I think tonight maybe we might see a couple yellows, of course, with the Darlington stripes and things like that tonight. How big would it be just to come out with a top 10, top 5, or even a chance to win this thing?
It would be so big for just momentum and confidence because we've been running at the front every week so far, and it just hasn't last 20%, last 15% of the race. It just went all to hell in a handbasket. It's just we need if we're going to have any chance to get on track to try to contend for the championship, we have to get on some kind of roll, get off this snide of 20-something place finishes. So, you know, realistically, honestly, I want to go out here and win the race. It's one of my favorite racetracks. I used to come here pretty often, and it'd mean a lot to me to win here. But honestly, I just want to finish in the top 5. I just don't want to get wrecked because I feel like every week it's the same. Like just somebody, Daytona, we were 3 wide. I checked up for somebody in front of me, got ran over. I mean, that's just Daytona.
Right.
Week 2, Matthew got dead sideways. I tried to avoid him, so he ran into me. Last week, somebody just misjudged it, trying to go around me and just spun me out off of 4. So hopefully we can avoid that happening. Knock on wood, get some leprechauns in the room or something. Just try anything to get some luck.
I heard of a character named Hornswoggle once. Maybe we can bring him up here. But anyways, he was a wee guy. But anyways,
he was a little mischievous, wasn't he?
Yeah, just a wee bit. So it's funny. A chat guy, Mad Dog Gamer, you might know him, made a comment about stop having his teammate watch. It's kind of funny he says that. I actually crew chief for a car in the Lionheart series that runs open wheel cars. I can't say the other name now. But basically, long story short, he the first couple races I did, I watched the broadcast too, and he wrecked. I stopped watching the broadcast, and he started running well. So maybe there's something to that. So stop having your teammates watch.
Tell Mad Dog to turn it off right now, then.
Well, you just did for me. So great job tonight, man.
Joe, stop watching.
Hey, best of luck, my man.
I appreciate it.
All right, you too. Mark Whitley and Joe, stop watching. So, or else I could block him, I guess. That's another option. But anyways, appreciate Mark for joining us. As you see, warm-up going on right now. So, with that said, I think it's time we go racing, shall we?
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless, a sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it, and I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, 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 yeah.
This is a statement to appreciate all that is vacant. It's just for the taking. If you make up your mind, you can take it. I'm never complacent. I would work in a
to be somebody to be. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, I just wanna be great. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, yeah,
as Whitley leads lap 1. And I've just realized the last 5 minutes I've been talking to you guys, and nobody's heard a word. That's embarrassing. Anyways, great intro, Scala. Good job, buddy. Anyways, we're great at Darlington. Yeah, it's called me being a producer. I suck. Anyways, Cutlip had to jump into turn 1, and caution is out over in turn 3. Oh, big wreck here. Austin Bloom, the 07. Chris Travis has gone around. I see the 33 of Tim Averill. That's what, 2 straight races I've screwed up the intro? Good job, Scala. Yeah, I was just talking about the history of the track and everything about it. You saw the stats on the side, at least. It could be worse, Aaron. The broadcaster part's fine. It's the racing part I kind of have issues with. All right, let's take a look at a restart, and I'll kind of go over some things while we're here. You saw the starting lineup. I read it to you, but you just had to look at it yourself. Oh, 48-42 come together. Robert Hill Jr. goes piling. Nice move by Kyle Hall. A couple cars missing. Looks like Averill in the 33 with a little bit of damage. I think that's Averill in the 33. Or is that Dalton? Yeah, it's one of them. It was Dalton Wilson in the 33. So caution's out. So I was talking about a little bit is with the setup of the series, the odd number series season. So season 3 was the first time we were here. It was actually last year. Look at that. So that's why this is only the second trip to Darlington. Of course, the minnow pond, you saw that over there on the outside of the turn. And that's why I guess you got to hear the whole song, huh, without me talking, huh? I just thought about that. So what else did I cover? I covered the starting grid. I don't think you missed much, trust me. Other than just me rambling about going racing at Darlington. Did 2 pace laps, so on and so forth. So it looks like the 48 got into the back of the 42. And Bloom, Sargent, and Craig Martin into 22, unfortunately, going behind the wall here early. Oh, yeah, you did ask me the name of the song. The name of the song is, that was what I explained, and you guys didn't hear it. The song is called I Just Want to Be Great. I don't even know who the artist is. What I can tell you is that it's in YouTube. If you go into YouTube's, if you have your own YouTube page or whatever, which all of us do, because when you make a file, you have access to it. You can go into YouTube Music, and you go looking at like all the non-copyrighted stuff that they have, and look for the song I Just Want to Be Great. There's a instrumental, and then the regular song itself. That's what I have. It was just a random song I came across. I'm like, oh, this is interesting. I like it. It's went with me ever since. And it makes sense, because when you're racing, you just want to be great. Now, race fan, I will look up that answer. I was going to look up once we got going here, but unfortunately we had that caution and then other hiccups on my end. So, all right, 4 laps in the books. We come back to the green. Mark Whitley started on the pole. He leads them to the green flag here. Cutlip, Henry, Husby, and Barkuski are top 5. And again, our cameras tonight presented by TrackCams22.com. You can check them out online, on Facebook. They're also in the iRacing forums. Their website, though, is TrackCams22.com. As Whitley already pulling away a little bit here, 0.4 of a second. Again, you want to stay off that wall. No Darlington stripes. I am not even going to try to count tonight. Yes, Netflix is the band. Like, if you look, there's a whole list of their songs. They rap, they cuss, by the way. This one I got lucky with. Yeah, it's just, I don't know if they're just an audio group or who they are. Yeah. All right, so it looks like everybody now starting to get into a rhythm. You see down on pit road, Dalton Wilson still in there, and Craig Martin on pit road with pit stops. Let's check back with Trey Holmes here, fastest in practice, having some blinking issues. Got Jeffrey Goodpaster there with him. This is 15th and 16th. Oh, somebody else got the wall back there, so our stripe count's up till probably 10 already at least. And here comes Heller, who was one of the faster cars in practice. There's another stripe. One of the faster cars in practice. There's another stripe. That's Goodpaster. Kept it up against the wall, which these ARCA cars will grab. As Trey Holmes, with him blinking, has gone down to the apron here to get out of the way. So Barkuski already up to the 5th position. There's Zach Rogers looking to change his luck in this race. Tyler Burton looking good right now in the 7th position. And some side-by-side right there to 38 of Justin Ray looking inside of TJ Alon, who does not give him the position sometimes as he gets to Walford, driving it in there deep. Unfortunately, moves like that. Oh, and now around goes to 38. Gets hit by Fitzsimmons. One other car, Alex Penn, gets damage in it. And he tows. He is not a happy camper, likely. It's just a tough situation. I was just talking about it here. So, okay, obviously it's your job to pass a car. Now, in this situation at Darlington, this is why it's one of my favorite tracks. It's the fact that, and I say this humbly, I know how to race Darlington. You have to race the track. You cannot race any other car. So in this situation, you got Justin Ray going underneath the 91. Now, obviously in today's racing now, you race as hard as you can. Now, in this situation here, I think Justin could have probably backed off, got in line. But instead, they go into turn 1. And Halan probably sends it in there pretty deep. Hence why he just goes sliding up the track. Right there. Actually tries to release the wheel a little bit there. And the 38's going to lose momentum from the 91 hitting the wall. And remember I made the joke last week about fiddling Fitzsimmons and brakes. And unfortunately right there, 38 checks up, 06 does not. 06 runs over 38. And calamity. And unfortunately, Alex Penn nowhere to go. Nice job by everybody else to miss this wreck. Oh, who was that inside lane that got clipped? So now let's see it at real speed as I explained it. So Ray did a good job letting him go, but yeah, then he just went too hard, got into the wall, got loose, tried to fight it, checked up, and bam, there's the 06. Let's go on board with Heller for this incident here. If I can find him. There he is. Watch this. All right, so we are in a caution for the second time. All right, 26 viewers. Nice. I like it. Hit that subscribe button if you have not watched this channel before. I promise you, you'll enjoy me, or you'll be bored. One of the two. I appreciate everybody who joins us each and every week for some good ARCA racing on Friday night. Alright, so to answer the question that was asked of me a little bit ago. 1950 Why is Darlington not showed on here? As we get ready to come back to green, using Race and Reference's website, it might not have information on it either. Some of these track names. Okay, yep, okay, here it is. Yes, it was Johnny Mance that won that race. Johnny Mance started dead. Well, it says he started 43rd, but then 80 car. I don't know. Anyways, I remember Mike Joyce sharing the story that 80 cars started that race. There was only 2 cautions, 9 laps. Mance won that race by. It took 6.5 hours to run 500 miles in these cars. All right, here we go. Back racing. Lap number 14. Whitley, Cutlip, Henry, Husby, Rogers, your top 5. As Heller, first one out of the line, back here 12th, the inside of Hull. Oh, and Alon drives it into Fitzsimmons. People are not racing the track at all. And the 2 gets involved in also of Cody McCorkle. That's why it didn't have numbers in it. All right, let's see the replay here. This is just simply 2. Again, here it comes down to is cars racing the racetrack here. And, well, if you watch closely here, unfortunately, just contact sends the 06 around. The 2 gets a piece of it. There's going to be some unhappy people. So attrition already starting to play a role here, 17 laps in. That is Dalton Wilson taking a Lucky Dog Award going around. So as you see now, let's talk about this black stripe that's becoming infamous all of a sudden on my screen. So you see where Mark Whitley's name is. It's like everything's cooperating right now. But when I turn it off, it stays with the black stripe. So my job this week is to go get the black stripe off the screen. Wish me luck with that one. It's all part of the updated stuff that we're trying to do on the broadcast. Always trying to improve things, as I say. Go back to this season 3 race as I talked about, the first Southern 200 at Tate Lytle won. Matthew Weeks actually won the pole for that race. Tate led, here we go. You're gonna love this stat. Ready? Tate led 98 of 147 laps in that race. 29 cars started. Anyone want to guess how many cautions there were? If you were in the race, you're not allowed to answer. I'll wait about 30 seconds here and I'll answer it. Aaron, you're way off, buddy. I mean, you're further off than Jim Carrey was when he said Samsonite. Brantley's very close. All right, the answer is 1. There was 1 caution. That was it. We're at 3 in 19 laps. The interesting thing about that is the only racer that is here tonight that finished in the top 5 in that race 2 seasons ago is there in that 19 car. Mike Husby finished in the top 5 there, and here he is now 4th. As we'll come to the green. Now you wonder if the daytime's playing a role probably in this too, causing these issues. As there goes Whitley on the pedal, come to the green flag, lap number 19 in the books. As they go side by side into turn 1. Not saying you can't do it. It's just probably not smart right now. There's a shot. It's almost like once a lap, somebody gets the wall. If the walls here could talk. As the Hall gets loose off turn 2. The top section of the track was actually built for the slower cars. What the thought was is that the fast cars would run the bottom of the track, aka the apron, and the slow cars would have the top side to run their own pace. Of course, before then was the old common sense of, oh, we can go faster on a high bank track. Hence why the groove is as big as it is at Darlington. So Whitley stretching it out a little bit as Carrington gets underneath Tyler Burden. That is for the 7th position, and Burden has fallen. Unfortunately, 4 spots. Alex Penn gives him his position back just to kind of ride there. 15, Alex Bryson there behind him. Alex loses momentum there just a little bit. All right, let's talk you through a lap here at Darlington. So you come off turn 4, you're almost not full throttle until right there. Now you come down the straightaway here, and you want to enter right down on this white line, and you want to almost drive straight right here. Back to the throttle. You want to roll the throttle here, and you can almost go full for a second. Then you got to get back off, and right here it's another apex that you got to hit. Then down the back straightaway. I like to use the lines right here at the inside of the track as my braking point. You got to let the car slide all the way up to the wall almost. You can use these other grooves, but I'm one that likes to let the car just take off itself and bring it off turn 4 and bring it to the line. You got to do it without hitting anything or anyone. And then pit road, that's a whole nother monster. No pun intended. Pit road, you got to, I mean, at least when I drive this track, look at that right there. That's pit road. You have to get to that cone on a track that's, well, there's no rubber down there at all, and your tires are worn out. So think about that for a second. So what I usually do when I'm at this track is I make sure I brake at turn 3 to go into turn 3, except I hang a dead left. And I just almost run the inside wall around the track to pit road to make sure I don't miss it. Plenty of people do. And if you watch Darlington here in a couple weeks in NASCAR, I will predict to you right now, somebody will miss pit road. It happens every year. Good pastor, unfortunately, he's falling back here. He's got some 2 and 3 wide here. Jeffrey's struggling in that 7, unfortunately. All right, who's in the Mark Martin throwback? That's awesome. So the 7 off the pace. I think he's just kind of falling back, maybe going to let this race come to him a little bit and trying to get himself into a rhythm. Oh, 42 about got stuffed in the fence. Somebody's clobbered the outside wall there. And you do have some tribute schemes, of course. Well, there's two Mark Martin schemes, Aaron. There's the Mark Martin Cup scheme, which is Finley. But then there's the Winn-Dixie car right there. If you know your Xfinity Series racing, before Kyle Busch did Kyle Busch things, that car right there in the 90s was darn near unstoppable. If Mark Martin drove the 60 Winn-Dixie car in a race in the Xfinity at the time Busch Series, it was going to victory lane almost every time, unless you raced at Bristol. Ha 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 ha. There's a joke there. So Cutlip second right here behind Whitley, who's led all the laps so far. He's got the 39 of Henry there, and then Rogers about 2 seconds back with Mike Husby there in 5th. Stephen Miles has worked his way up to 6th in that one car. Kyle Heath, Barkuski, Heller, and Burden, your top 10. That was the joke there. Thank you. I'm glad somebody caught that. Now, I know Casey and his CX Squared cars are all running 2003 tributes to the Dodge squads. That's where you're seeing the Power Days cars of Casey Kane, Casey Kane that year, and then of course Husby's got the 03 would be Jeremy Mayfield, Jeremy Mayfield. Let's see, what other tribute schemes do we have out there right now? So I roll through the field here. Ooh, Miles tagged the wall a little bit there. Trying to see him as they go by here. There's the GM card, the point leader, Brandon Barkuski. As we finally get ourselves into a rhythm here. As Trey Holmes and Fitzsimmons back here. Fitzsimmons about gotten to the side of him. Let me take a look at it. Oh, okay, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about. That's what race did that run in right there? Well, obviously it's a DuPont car, but I'm assuming the colors are different. Is that what it is? Because the scheme looks right. So Trey Holmes gets past Nurnberger for position. I mentioned Fitzsimmons. He's got the Mark Martin scheme. There's the Miller Lite Dodge of the Rusty Wallace paint scheme from back in the day. And then who did I see? Yes, gets me searchings. It was only Texas win, I think it was too. And look at this. Mark pulled away a little bit, but now Cutlip and Henry have thrown the fishing reel out there and started to bring them in. So we talked about Darlington. One thing I have not talked about at all is this surface. This surface, the old theory is that when you would carry your tires to the pits or whatever to put on the car, you literally carried them. You did not let them touch the track or the surface. Basically, we're in a sandhills region here, and this track is pretty much covered with dirt and stuff. As the 28 got into the back of the 77, who I think got tight or something. And Cutlip let Whitley save himself there before it became 4 for 4 on back end hits. And Henry goes to second now. But basically with all that, it creates almost like the equivalent of 80 grip sandpaper, if you will. And it eats these tires alive. So with that said, lap times. We're already about a second, 1.5 seconds off the pace in most of these cars as Miles outside gets passed by Barkuski. And also by Burden. Let's go back to what just happened up front. Because once again, Mark Whitley had a Code Brown moment. Give me a second to find it. All right, here we go. So right there, let me back it up further. That came pretty quickly. So Whitley goes into the corner. Right there, maybe the back end swings for a second. Maybe, of course, we lost the camera there for a second. I don't know if he got tight or maybe got a little loose or so, but he had to check up, and then the 28 had to check up and got in the back of him. So that could have been UGLY, but thankfully things worked out. And everybody continues on. As these guys get into some lap traffic, there's Austin Bloom in the 48. As Zach Henry puts all types of pressure on him. It needs to, but will it? This track very tough to pass. As Whitley gets a little loose off turn 2. See if Henry gets the momentum here. And he's going to send it off in a turn 3, slide up in front and take the lead. Let's see if Whitley crosses back. I think his car is just a little too free right now for his liking. So Zach Henry goes to the lead, lap number 41. I got plans. So do I, if that makes you feel better. Oh, trouble for TJ Alon, who has spun. He's all the way down the infield there at turn 4. He's sitting down there at the Geico restart zone. You can see him across the screen there. And he jumps to the pits. No caution. He kept it low enough to where it did not trigger a caution. And now a battle for second as Cutlip inside of Whitley. Well, you won't hear it from me because I'm not watching. So the top 3 settled out here. Unfortunately, Whitley falls back a little bit here to 3rd, but the only bad news for that is there's Zach Rogers right there behind him, 1.6 seconds back. And then Tim Abrol here almost got the outside wall, if not did. Has the 20 to his inside. That's Jordan Owens. And Owens makes the pass. So great job by both those guys. Unfortunately for Mark, he has got a whole bunch of people back behind him there. The next week, our first short track of the season, Nashville Fairgrounds. And then we go to Texas Motor Speedway on the 17th, and we hit a road course at Sonoma. Head out west. And we hit Charlotte March 31st. Then we take a week off for Easter and go to Iowa on April 14th. So there's your next 5 races right there. The All American ARCA Series presented by Whiteriver LLC. All the races here on the Captain Esports Network. Yes, that would be a correct statement, Mr. Vanowski. Nick Leo has gained 20 spots. As the 13 of Kyle Heath trying to make a move. And there's Heller, who has come up through the field slowly to 7th. He actually had fallen back early. We got, let's see, Nick Leo back here in 12th. He's up 20 positions in at Jewel number 69. Stephen Miles has fallen back to 13th in that one car. Kyle Hall up 16 spots to 14th. As look at this mess all of a sudden. Mike Husby going for 3rd. It's 3rd through 7th right here in a blanket. Husby with a nice Darlington move right there. Hit that apron and slide her up the track. And now Kyle Heath going to try the inside on Mark. So unfortunately, Whitley's tires are probably screaming at him right now. And Mark is probably saying some things you can't say right now on here. Of course, there is that bonus point, by the way, for most positions gained. So Nick Leo looking pretty good in that category right now. So 85% fuel, 57 to 60 laps, they say, on a tank. As Heller slides up in front of Whitley. So with that said, we've had the 3 cautions and the front 16 cars have not pitted yet. So look for pit stops probably here in the next 10 laps, I would say. And for some, maybe short pitting. Tires aren't going to go up. Caution's out. They're going to pit right now. And the trouble's back here to back. Nurnberger's gone around to 32. Justin Ray looks like's involved. There's the Todd Bodine throwback of the 07 of Jackson Van Pelt. The old Tabasco scheme. Oh, okay. I was wondering what was going on here. Let's, while they all sort this out. Fourth caution. There's old Bob Hill, the Mountain Man Motorsports car inside. Does a little slider on the 32. 32. Oh, he gets the wall. Slider gone wrong. And then 24 cleans out. There's Dalton Wilson. Does not make contact. Nice job on his part. Then watch the 14er. Right down the track. And there's the leaders. This is why everybody had... Oh, no! Everybody see that Kyle Heath just clobbered the 19. Obviously no communication or something. We'll come back to this. Pit stop's happening. But look, Zach Rogers has actually entered the pits in the lead here. So he went from 7th to 1st. Because of whatever just took place there. So we had 2 different incidents here all of a sudden. So drama. And race off pit road, going to be Zach Rogers now. Now, Husby obviously didn't have much damage because he comes out 3rd. But let's go, all right, so the wreck happens, right? So now let's go here into turn 3 and 4. So the wreck is still going on in front here. So here's the 39 checks up. 28 just comes flying in there. Watch this. Bam. Oh, and he hits Henry. So Henry gets spun out. I mean, you gotta know there's a wreck in front of you, I would think, right? Am I wrong here? I wonder if there's going to be a penalty on a 13 for that. Let's, Kyle Heath, who's here. Yeah, caution's already out. Wow. That's unfortunate for a lot of cars. But that opened up the lead to Zach Rogers now here at lap 55. Pace car lights are out. We're going to go racing here. Well, Kyle is now a lap down in 31st. He's back on track now. Mike Husby is third. There he is, that 19 car right there. And then Zach, unfortunately, has fallen all the way back to the 9th position. Wait a minute, are you saying we should put this on ARCA Break Weekly? Because I believe there's a actual thing for that, right? All right, 55 laps in. Thanks to our good friends at Front Stretch and who I work for. I actually get to do some news writing tomorrow. Gonna have some fun here. Let's turn it up as we go back green, lap 56. All right, there you go. Presented by FrontStretch.com. In case you didn't know, 2 series kick off a season this weekend. That'd be the IndyCar or Open Wheel Series. Let me make sure I get that right so I don't get it screwed up. It's actually the IndyCar Series. And Formula One kicks off their season. NASCAR, of course, is in Vegas. Truck race going on right now, in case you couldn't tell from Aaron Thomas's comments. Guess where you can get all that information at? Frontstretch.com. Make sure you go check it out right now. You got so many different articles there. Short track racing, dirt tracks. There's some podcasts. Excuse me, I'm over here choking. And so many other things. And, of course, I'll be taking care of the qualifying for Cup tomorrow in the Xfinity race at Vegas. You'll see the articles and stuff as the race gets finished and that kind of thing. Any news that breaks, you can check it all out there, frontstretch.com. Make sure you give them a follow on YouTube, by the way. There's a poll up on the YouTube page that I actually did myself that asks who is going to win the race in Vegas come Sunday. So you can check it out on the YouTube page at frontstretch.com or over at frontstretch.com. So appreciate them allowing me to come work for them and start my career as a broadcaster / journalist / media person in NASCAR and racing. So cool. It's an honor and a privilege to have that opportunity. All right, Zach Rogers from the, the split screw through the wreck leads this race. Cutlip is second. Whitley is third. Believe it or not, Chase Elliott has never won a race in Vegas. It's actually his worst mile-and-a-half track. His caution is out. And it's Alex Penn. The Porsche has spun around in Darlington, and I think the 13 may be involved, but he might have been also avoiding it. We actually have an in-season thing where we pick the race winner, and we're just doing it for fun on the website or on the in emails and stuff. I actually picked Kyle Busch last week. You're welcome. I don't know if I agree with that. Ooh, Alex Penn, maybe some contactor, or did he get loose? Well, he gets up on the outside wall. That's what happened. Enters way too high. Gets the outside wall. Good passenger. Nowhere to go. Nice job by the two to miss. Wow, that could have been a lot worse. So good pastor and Alex Penn end up being the caution here. I don't agree with the whole Chase Elliott not winning this year comment. So Kyle Hall is racing to 30 there, and he just gets in too high. You see the nose damage already, so that thing was plowing. Nice job by the two of McCorkle to miss that. I haven't seen that, if that's the case. I was looking at the news just a little bit ago when I got off work. That would be huge if that's the case. Oh, yeah, right there. Wow. Never mind. I see it in the news. Oh, it broke. That's why it broke tonight during... I see. That's why I didn't see the news. That's interesting. So Chase Elliott not racing, huh? Yeah, that's some pretty big news, I'd say. Well, yeah, I mean, sport's most popular driver hurts his leg snowmobiling or whatever he was doing. I'll have to read up on that whole thing. I was starting to feel bad there when you said that, Aaron. I'm like, wait a minute, I missed this news and I'm like a news guy? Then now I see why. I was only in the middle of doing a broadcast when it happened or setting it up. So that's a bummer when they broke that. I mean, I grew up an Elliott fan, and I mean, I cheered Bill on, and yes, it's ironic that yeah, I live like 20 minutes from Chase. But that's just irony. Like, I didn't plan on living here. But, you know, and then cheered Casey Kane on, and then obviously have been on the Elliott bandwagon. So, no, I know, but it's something I try to keep track of. You know, I watch all the races, and all that good stuff. Thank you, by the way, Mad Dog, for joining or subscribing. Let me read the. As we go back green, Rogers and Cutlip, Whitley, Husby, and Barkuski are top 5. Oh, nice. Now, it's kind of funny when I moved here from upstate New York to start to transfer to FedEx here because of my in-laws living up in the mountains. I didn't even know, like, I knew where Gainesville was on the map, but didn't know, like, what was around it. And all of a sudden I look one day as we're moving, and I look down, like, wait a minute, Dawsonville's right there. Had no clue. So Zach Rogers taking advantage of the mistake. And the incident there up front has led the rest of the way here so far as we come up on the halfway point here. There's the pole sitter, Mark Whitley. Jonathan Cutlip there, third. Husby and Heller battling Barkuski for 5th. Barkuski gives it up. So 0.2 of a second, Rogers leads. Yeah, I'm just trying to read up on it while we're racing here. It's just talking about an injury. Apparently he was snowmobiling. Huh. Or not snowmobiling, but snowboarding. So yeah, he hurts his leg snowboarding. Something tells me he probably fell. And, but I don't want to guess or anything like that. Oh, Whitley just clobbered the outside wall with his right rear. Not sure how much that's going to hurt the car. These cars are very durable on iRacing. As he tries to put pressure on Rogers, I don't see much right side damage at all. As we pass the halfway point here, top 6 under a blanket. Alex Bryson slowly working his way up through the field, up 12 positions to 8th. We ride with Barkuski through 3 and 4. Trying to put pressure on Husby as we look at the rear. I don't see... Okay, yeah, so there's rear end damage on. I was about to say there's no damage on Husby's car, but his back end is pushed up a little bit. But he's still right there. When he gets a little loose here, that'll open the door for Barkuski. And he makes the move into turn 3 and 4. Mike trying to cross him back over. Typical Darlington fashion right there. Zach Henry, 9th position there. You wonder how much his car has been affected by the damage. This track is very intense when it comes to track. Somebody, Kyle Hall just smacked the wall off turn 4, or turn 2. The old turn 4, actually. Back in the day, that was actually the front straightaway. And here comes McCorkle with a comeback drive. There's Stephen Miles there behind him. Could be a lot of things. Remember, you got a fixed setup race here, so you got a lot of cars that are either could be pushing too hard early in the race and maybe killed their tires. So now you got others who are maybe saving their tires as McCorkle and Hall battle, and McCorkle's in the wall now. There's the broadcaster's jinx for you. So you could have drivers just simply saving their tires right now. And look at this. We got a train of cars all the way back to about 8th. Oh, Rogers got tight, and it actually killed the momentum of Whitley, and here comes Cutlip. And with that, Whitley to the top side. Well, it looked like he was going to lose a spot, and then he just gains it, and then Rogers is falling back here a little bit. Not sure if Rogers got loose there. I didn't see it. And here's Henry and Bryson. Pretty much. I mean, you can adjust a couple of things. You can adjust the steering ratio. You can adjust the offset, which basically is where you have the wheel. Like if you're looking at a steering wheel and you got like a piece of red tape or something at the top or whatever if your wheels, your offset's basically where the wheel sits straight up. Oh, and Zach Rogers just got the outside wall hard. And that is going to, I mean, his right front's destroyed now. Here we're talking about the Napa driver in real life, and look what just happened to the Napa cars. Cutlip to the lead. That and brake bias. Those are the 3 things you can adjust in a car on a fixed setup. Otherwise, you got what you got. Yeah, good pastor for somebody who was having issues earlier in this race. There's a part of me that, like, I'm sitting here in my head thinking about this true. I'm like, you feel bad for any driver that gets hurt, especially, I mean, you think of Daniel Hemrick last week, you feel bad about that, and you feel bad for Chase. I mean, it sucks that you try to go out there and have some fun and live a life and you get hurt. No, you can't do tire pressure at all in a fixed setup. I mean, like them or not, you don't want to get hurt. I'll tell you this right now. Josh Berry just became a value pick in fantasy. So 85 laps complete. As Penn just wallops the wall. There's Robert Hill, the owner of Mountain Man Motorsports. There's the 13 that had that freak accident that happened. And now Kyle Hall's on the outside wall, it looks like. There's a lot of things happening everywhere. Oh, okay, so let me add this to it. So Bob Pockris, I'm seeing this. I didn't see this part. He is having surgery on his leg. So something of maybe a break or something. If that's the case, he might be out for a while. Well, no, I mean, that's where you make sure you have your sources. Like, I've seen it now, and I'm on the, there's I don't know if you guys know about this. Discord, of course, everybody has for gaming. Oh, yeah, Matthew, I know, man. I was in those storms too earlier, buddy. We actually use a app called Slack, which is like Discord, me and the front stretch guys. And that's where I went, and they actually quoted from Bob Pockris and Jordan Bianchi, who are both pretty good reporters. But that was, I just read that part about he had surgery on his leg, or is having surgery on his leg. So something tells me that something either broke or got dislocated. Which, if he broke his leg, I mean, think of Kyle Busch. That was a compound fracture, and he was out for, what, 3 months, 4 months? Then you got to hope you don't have infections or anything like that, so... I don't put Allgaier in the car, but maybe it's a height thing. As Zach Henry inside as Whitley now starts to fall back, and we didn't get to catch this. Look who's up to second. Christopher Heller has taken the second position here and now tries to chase down that 28. And I say that only because, you know, he's usually the backup guy, but hey, I'm cool with Barry getting an opportunity. So let's see if this 52 can chase down to 28. As we're 91 laps complete this time by. So just over 50 laps. Still got one more green flag pit stop potentially to make in this race. Here's the pass for second, by the way, for those who didn't see it. As Whitley does it the right way. He had the inside position, and Whitley slid back, let the 52 have it. Henry up to the third position now, so he has slowly worked his way up, saved the tires, has good long run pace, and now to the second position himself. Lap time's about 31, 32 seconds right now. Well, it's like Aaron said, just be careful who you hear it from, because obviously things are going to fly around. And put it like this, if I see anything more from our end, I will tell you. Matter of fact, I'll keep the app open here. As you saw Tyler Burden make a move and move up to the 7th position. So Barkuski has fallen back, unfortunately. Yeah, man, I hate that for. Oh, wow, and Burden just crashed the wall there. As Trey Holmes now up a position. Well, here's a couple things I can tell you. This is right off the website. Matter of fact, I'm gonna come over to the YouTube chat on my phone as we're calling this race here. Who said I can't multitask? As Cutlip leads by 2 seconds, Carrington and Husby now, so 5th and 6th swapping between teammates. So now you're starting to see the cars on the long run. Oh, that's the wrong button. Oh, I hear my voice. So Cutlip leads by 2.1, so he and Henry about running the same lap times right now. So if you want to get some information, this is straight from the website, from our website at frontstretch.com. And it says, according down at the bottom of the article, according to Bob Pockris, Hendrick has not requested a playoff waiver at all. So this might be a season thing. He might be done for the season, like somebody said. So that's straight from the website right there. You can read that article. Please do it in a secondary window so you keep my stream up. So Cutlip and Casey Carrington, Trey Holmes, Stephen Miles, those 4 drivers, the only ones right now in the 31-second bracket on the lead lap. So Casey Carrington is one of the fastest cars on the track right now as he goes by the 77 for 4th. With 47 laps to go, 100 laps complete in the Southern 200. And Zach Rogers on pit road. This is in the window. He can make it the distance. The question is, how much damage does he have when it comes to time-wise? He's going to lose at least a lap here, if not 2 laps on pit road. Kyle Purcell on pit road, 25th position. Last pitted at 52. That's 50 laps exactly right now. Some of these cars, so maybe some short pitting going on here. Anybody catch that right there? That's some shifting going on in an ARCA car at Darlington. Oh, well, and that's the part about downshift you got to be careful of. And here comes Trey Holmes through the field. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate it. Trey is on the move right now, up to 4th. And he blinks out. Christopher Heller, the first of the leaders on pit road. Let's cover it. 12th position. At least at that time when I saw it. Four tires and fuel, and Heller pulls away 14.4. And now he's going to pretty much blow through this field. I mean, you want to see fresh tires. Watch this 52. And here goes Zach Henry, Mike Husby on pit road. And Henry comes up on the back of Chris Travis, who's trying to run his own pace down pit road. Don't turn him. Pit road speed limit, I believe, is 45 miles an hour. And here comes Casey Carrington to pit road, and there's that trickiness of it. Oh, right there, Burton, look out! Right on cue. Somebody about missed pit road. Four tires and fuel. Henry pulls away. 16.6. Slow stop for him. Husby 14.7. Here comes Carrington in. 38 laps to go. And remember, only 3 sets of tires to use here, so you got to be very careful with how you run this race. Nick Leo on pit road. Tyler Burden leading 14.6 for him. See, Mackenzie, Jackson Van Pelt's on pit road. And Zach Rogers, by the way, is still on pit road. He has not left in 5 minutes. So, unfortunately, Zach's race appears to be close to over, if not totally over. As Leo leaves his pit stall. 15.2 on his stop. So, 36 laps to go. There is your leader. Cutlip, 7.2 seconds now over Trey Holmes. And Mark Whitley is third. And Cutlip is just like throw it in 5th gear or something here. As Jordan Owens and Cody McCorkle are on pit road now. All right, Mark Whitley's in. Let's cut to him. Kyle Heath coming to pit road. 15-1 there for Heath. Whitley pulls away 14-9. Leader is in. And actually 4 tires. Oh, and now he hits him and Carrington. Wreck off the back straightaway. And the caution is out. This just flipped its race on his head. Cutlip just got done with a 14.6 second stop. Carrington goes to avoid Kyle Hall, who gets the wall. And unfortunately, the 28 is down there. Oh my gosh. The weirdness of Darlington continues. I was just about to share the pit stop and let you guys see it for the 28. Unfortunately, didn't catch it live. As again, trying to multitask here. But this literally, I mean, this, we have to figure some things out here. So Barkuski and others are coming to pit road. These are the guys that haven't pitted yet. Barkuski's going to win a race off pit road. Then Stephen Miles. Then Tim Abril. Look. Austin Bloom is in the top 10 right now. That cereal box has been hidden by like 5 or 6 different people. All right, I'm just actually doing my other job here real quickly. And actually tweeting out the news. Huh. And of course, being on Twitter, you kind of come across some things here. All right, so with everything updating, you're seeing a lot of wave around cars. So basically, Mike Husby, Tyler Burden, Alex Bryson, Mark Whitley, Nick Leo, Trey Holmes, Alex Penn, Kyle Heath, Jonathan Cutlip, McCorkle, all these cars are taking the wave around, and that's going to put us at roughly 19 cars on the lead lap, I believe. And the leader, and they're going to wave off the green here, is going to be Christopher Heller. In the 52 car, Buckowski will be second. Stephen Miles will be third. Robert Hill Jr. is now fourth, with Tim Abril in fifth. Now, back to the NASCAR thing real quick. I did come across on Twitter just now. Anybody remember Josh Berry subbing for somebody at Vegas before? Yeah, it's rough, man. I don't know if you did anything wrong there. I mean, you were avoiding a car in a wall. I mean, I don't know if anybody did anything wrong there. Other than Kyle hitting the wall, I guess. But all right, coming back to the green, 26 laps to go in the Southern 200, and it has been a wild one. We've seen wrecks, we've seen weirdness, we've seen Darlington, basically, as we come back to green. And here's even weird stuff. 5 cars in the outside lane, that's it. As Miles and Barkowski side by side, there goes the 7 to the apron there. He got a little loose in the corner. As now Miles trying to hold off Robert Hill Jr. for third. So back 2020 or 21, if you remember, Michael Lynette had a, wait for it, leg issue or knee issue. Josh Berry filled in the 1 car and won at Las Vegas. As Austin Bloom looking underneath Mike Husby as they get a little loose there. I mean, the 48 barely has a front end on that car. There's your pole sitter, Mark Whitley, just trying to finish a race in 1P here. He's done everything well. But, of course, this is the part of the race the last couple weeks he's kind of dreaded. And right there, Bloom gets the wall. Everybody scatters. Everybody does a good job staying calm and allowing the avoidance to happen as Barkowski, 30.10, fastest lap of the race right there into 25. And trouble, Dalton Wilson and Zach Henry have crashed. Zach Henry, who was up there in the front, has come together with the 30. Now the caution is out. More weirdness. Kyle Hall on the outside wall. Wilson checks up as the 7 goes by. I can already tell you what's going to happen here. Called it. 33 was up on the high side, and unfortunately the wall narrows up there, and he hits it and gets into Zach Henry on the inside. Unfortunate break there. It's just one of those things you get so here's the problem. There's so many cars, you're trying not to create a wreck here, and you just lose where you're at. And you gotta, it's another turn right here. Tough break. All right, does anybody come the pit road here? Jonathan Cutlip coming in. He's led the most laps today. This might be a move to get tires on the car now to go to the finish. Trying to see if Cutler was some right side damage on that 28. From that incident that happened on the back straightaway still, so I still see some stuff there, so. Oh my gosh. Alright. Let's, this has been a little cray-cray tonight. Is it a full moon? All right, the top car in chat right now is the one of Stephen Miles. So I'm going to bring him up here, see if he wants to talk to me. He might not want to talk to me. And I fully understand if he doesn't. Miles, you there, bud?
Yeah, I'm here.
I was wondering if you wanted to talk to me or not. So you're third right now in this race. Obviously, a lot of craziness has happened here. What do you got for these two leaders? Anything for them, or is this a matter of survival? What are you feeling right now?
I got some for them, but I think it's really about survival. I burned my tires up running hard the run before last, and the last run I took it easy and I was able to catch them. So I believe it's it's 17 to go. We'll see. I'm gonna see if they are burning up. If not, then we're gonna try to make a run for it and try to get it. But right now, survival.
How's the racing been at from your part here? Because I know you've run Darlington a little bit here and there, but this obviously being maybe the toughest test of this track for you.
Yeah. Do not go on the turn side by side. That's number one. And really just watching people who's racing hard and seeing how much you can save and be able to come get them at the end. It's been a while, but I'm glad I had saved so much and saved extra 2 laps to stay out and get that caution, be up front. Hopefully it works out for our benefit.
There you go, my man. Well, want to hear a joke?
No, I do not.
Okay, fair enough. Go have fun, buddy.
All right. You too.
That is Stephen Miles, who loves my dad jokes. And always watches the channel, by the way, too, when he's not racing. So he runs third in that Asheville Rooftop Bar Tours number 1. With Heller and Barkuski are top 2. Robert Hill Jr., or as I like to call him, Bob Hill 2, runs in 4th. And Tim April running into 5th position. Mike Husby, Alex Bryson, Tyler Burton, Mark Whitley, Nick Leo is your top 10. With 19 cars on the lead lap as we come to the green, 17 laps to go. Hold on to your drinks, boys and girls. Oh, spinning on the tires and now they're wrecking. Tyler Burton, Mike Husby. I saw Bryson get turned. I saw somebody spin the tires big time. Cautions breed cautions. You know what? It wasn't somebody spinning the tires. Somebody was that Husby? Yeah, it's that red car topside here. Let's go blimp. Comes down the track. Now, was he hit, though? Oh, yes, he was. Tyler Burton lifted him off the ground. That's where Bryson gets turned into Husby and the Burton. That was just bad. Let's watch full speed here. I do want to see what speed to 52. I want to, because, you know, it's a pretty late start. Let's see if they go into the zone here. There's the Geico restart zone. Now, he launched on time. Is everybody, I think, anticipating the start? And it didn't happen. It's always tricky here because you see the leaders, they're pacing, and everybody's going to start getting exciting. And this is where the pack starts to come together a little bit. And add Nick Leo to the list, add the 13 in there. 48 gets into the back of, I think that's Thompson up there in the 24. I don't get to do this often, so let's try this real quickly. Let me take off the Sim 500 overlay, and I'm actually going to throw up. Oh, you know what? It won't show. Never mind. Yeah, I was going to show you the speed he was running here. If Heller, well, let's change over to the onboard then. I'm learning something about my timing and scoring right here. Let's watch the RPMs here. Yeah, he's consistent, even sped up a little bit. So Christopher did nothing wrong. So let's go to the 36 now. Just tried to time to start. And hey, let me mute. Actually, you know what? While we got another caution, it gives me a chance. Let's talk to somebody else. And y'all know who that somebody is. If he's in here. Oh, he's not in here. I thought they would be in here. Never mind. I was going to talk to Bob. All right, let me mute. I'm going to listen. Turn the microphones on. I have the ability of muting the channel, but I can listen to chat in the race, and I haven't done that all race, so just want to hear some of the stuff that's going on here. All right, so the 8th caution, we're doubled up again. Tyler Burton is off the track. Or else I was going to say that he might have gotten an EOL there. You do get an EOL for the first caution. Your second, excuse me, not forced, but caution started. You get DQ'd for the race. So this is one of those series that does not play around. You create a caution, you're going to pay for it. It's all about producing good green flag racing. Let's see when Heller goes this time. Barkuski, Miles Hill, and April, pretty much the same top 5. A couple of the positions have swapped around with that incident. And back at it. Here we go. No more give and take. It's all taken now. I would love that, Matthew. I mean, there's some leagues out there. Uh-oh. I was going to say Hill was in trouble. There's some leagues. Oh, now they're around. The 6 gets turned of Tim Averill, and now he's gone straight reverse mode. Spins it back around in the middle of the track. And doesn't get hit. Let's see what happens here. I saw Hill off the pace there. And they go into the corner. Oh, and Bob gets in the back of Tim. That's impressive there to be driving that car in reverse like that. Spins it back around. Watch out, everybody. That takes talent. Now, of course, you could argue, why did he hold the brakes? But anyways, that's a whole nother deal. Caution out for the 9th time. Yeah, I was going to say, now, like, obviously, I don't agree with it necessarily. Like, a lot of leagues will actually have it, like, you have to be in their Discord page or whatever. I used to kind of be that way, but I understand now go to wherever you like to race and be comfortable at. So, yeah, I don't blame anybody for not being in a channel. It's just, unfortunately, I can't talk to you then. You know what? We're going to have a little fun here for a second. He has no clue we're about to do this. Watch this move. All right, so we're going to hang out here with Joe here for a second. And we're going to... Joe, what'd you see here, bud? There you go. Now, being a college student, do you have like a specific like game off of cautions? Like you take like a drink of, depending on age, what you can drink? Soda. See, now you just kind of you just kind of answered by saying that answer. No, Mom, he's never heard of the Main Street Pub. Anyways. But, well, I just figured I'd come down here and just kind of let everybody see the admin side since we've had a little weirdness going on here this evening. So, yeah. Do you think...
Anywhere,
you know what?
I guess, nowadays. So.
I might or might not have just saved you. Because for the second time tonight, I've realized somebody's mic is muted outside of mine. So the parents don't have a clue that you're drinking soda right now. Okay. Until I just said you're drinking soda right now.
Alrighty.
So for those who don't know, we just had a conversation with Joseph Penn, who's the admin, and you just heard me talking.
Alright. Well, it looks like we're about to go back green, so I have to get back to work.
Oh, you'll be getting back to work here soon, I have a feeling, and I hate to say that.
Yeah.
Best of luck!
Right. Thank you.
I might come back at the next caution to hear you kind of go over a replay so we can let the viewers hear it.
Alrighty.
There we go. So I was trying to talk to Joseph Penn, who actually is a college student in the town that I actually am kind of from. So he and I, talk a lot about what goes on in that area right now. All right, coming to green, 7 laps to go. One of these days I'll get the microphone deal where I can make sure everybody's mics are on. As we go back racing, 7 laps to go. Heller and Barkuski, teammates, going for the lead here together. Here comes Miles with Whitley there on the outside training. Whitley to 3rd. Trey Holmes there in 5th. And here we go, 2 and 3 wide again. Patience, everybody be careful. Miles back to the top on Holmes. Oh, by the way, Whitley is up to 2nd. Didn't get to see the pass, but Mark is coming. Catching's 1, passing's another. Mark just ran a 29.98 that lap, and then they both just hit the wall. Oh, Darlington's getting weird now. And that might just bring Barkuski into this battle. 4 to go. Oh, and madness in the front stretch. No caution yet. Now the caution is out. Austin Bloom, Stephen Thompson look like are the yellow. Nick Sargent may be involved. Let's see. Tyler Burden involved. Along with the 20. Oh, geez. More cereal everywhere in the front stretch. And Tyler gets into the back of Alex Penn. Well, this ought to be a good one. Let's jump down to the admin tower here. And let's listen to Joe make the call here as his brother gets turned. Okay. Which is fair. We'll let him do that, but needless to say, as he goes to look at the second call maybe here on Burden, which you hate to put that burden on Joe to make the call. Sorry, I had no choice but to put a bad joke in there. For those who have ran away from this broadcast, I totally understand, and I'm sorry. I mean, what all have we had tonight? We've had leaders wrecking. We've had Chase Elliott apparently breaking his leg or doing something to his leg. I don't want to use the word break, but unfortunately I'm going to there. We've had a leader wreck coming off pit road with contact with another car. We've talked to the admin for the first time ever in the broadcast. Let's see. Yeah, we've pretty much had everything but an F-bomb. Which I could easily do if I wanted to. Not me, but have somebody. So we've had it all tonight in this race. Appreciate the viewers. Appreciate everybody watching. 156 views already in this broadcast. And by the way, would love for everybody to share this channel because, as you see, I am all of a sudden quickly starting to work my way back up to 1,000. I got up to 600 or 650 really quickly, then kind of stalled out. It was like I got boring or something. And then All of a sudden now we've gotten over 800, and since we've started this season and the other league going, they've taken off again. So the quest for 1,000 viewers. Let's get it. I want 1,000 subscribers. I might even give something away if we do. I don't know what I'm going to give away, but I'll give away something. Don't say that, Casey, man. It's been wild from the start, dude. And what do you did nothing wrong. It was a situation where somebody got in the wall. You went to avoid him. And ironically, as you're trying to avoid him, there's a car coming off pit road and you guys hit each other. It's like a piece of concrete coming off the track. At Martinsville and hitting Jeff Gordon's front end and ripping it apart. Freak accidents happen. All right, so we got ourselves extra laps. Otherwise known as a green-white checker in iRacing. This is Extra Laps presented by Whiteriver LLC, the All American ARCA Series. Yeah, there was plenty of room, but this ain't one of those tracks where you can just hang the car back to the right and go back up the track. There's a lot of factors in there. You know, accidents happen. Nobody's perfect. Makes you feel better. He's up to 6. He might still win this race, which would be totally weird. All right, here we go. Coming to the green. 2 laps. Heller on the pedal. Whitley, who was the pole sitter. Side by side as the 25 to his inside. And Whitley sends it into turn 1. Gets the car all kinds of sideways. Cut lip in the outside wall. As they come off turn 4, final lap at Darlington. Is it Heller? Is it Whitley? Is it Barkuski? Is it somebody else? Do we have another 2003 Darlington race coming? Here comes Whitley. Oh, super slider. Oh, and Heller's in the wall. Crossover. Christopher Heller wins at Darlington. What a finish. The madness. Totally clean, too. Wow. As Heller will come down here and celebrate. And once again, BetMGM going to victory lane. Kyle Busch might have triggered something here. Uh-oh. I think we have some extracurricular maybe happening, I'm told. So for Christopher Heller, it's his second career win in his 32nd race, his 30th career start. Of course, he's a part of the 2511 team, I believe, that's come back. And his his season race before this one was back in March of last year. His last win was over a year and a half ago, or about 15 months ago, December 17th, 2021, at Homestead, his last win in this 52 car. So congratulations to Heller. As we look at the finishing order in this race, that's the warm-up. Let's get you the actual results here. Apologies for that. As Heller wins it over Mark Whitley in an exciting finish. Brandon Barkuski finishes third. Trey Holmes fourth. Kyle Heath comes back to finish fifth. Stephen Miles, sixth place finish for him. John Cutlip finishes seventh. Jordan Owens, great race for him. Eighth. Alex Bryson, ninth. Cody McCorkle, who had a rough race at the beginning, he finishes 10th. Nick Leo, 11th. Mike Husby, 12th. Alex Penn, 13th. Robert Hill Jr., 14th. Tim Averill, 15th. Zach Nurnberger, 16th. Nick Sargent, Jeffrey Goodpaster finishes in the 18th position. Austin Bloom, 19th. Stephen Thompson, 20th. Zach Henry, 21st. Kyle Purcell, 22nd. Larry McKenzie, 23rd. Justin Ray, 24th. And Jackson Van Pelt, 25th. Dalton Wilson, Craig Martin, Casey Carrington, unfortunately, 28th. And what could have been a winning car for him. Kyle Hall, 29th. Zach Rogers, 30th. Chris Travis, 31st. William George, 32nd. Finley Fitzsimmons, Brad Delph, TJ Lane, and Tyler Burden. And I think Burden ended up disqualified, so I don't know if he loses all of his standings and finishes 36th or what the situation is with that. So that could be, it's unofficial, we'll call it. As the old Polish victory lap made famous by Alan Kowicki after his win at Phoenix in 1989. And let's talk to some drivers here. Could be an interesting post race. Let's start with our third place finisher, Brandon Barkuski. Brandon, man, that was a tough race, but you did a great job. What in the world? Sorry, I'm looking at two cars stacked on top of another in the backstretch. Anyways, what a finish, what a race. Obviously, I think it was you that made the comment of just wanted to race your teammate for the win. Yeah, unfortunately, just a little bit short there, but a great effort tonight in that 25 car.
The one guy, I don't really necessarily think I was in the wrong on the incident, but I think there was some contact with me in the 4. I have to watch it back. I think I might have been below him going into 1, and he didn't lift. Incidental. I think I got into him coming off turn 2. I'll have to watch it back. I felt like I was in position. Definitely didn't mean to run into him, so that stinks for them. But all in all, just happy I was able to recover. Honestly, Chris, that's the big thing here tonight.
Yeah, it seemed like it was just wild from the start. I mean, the cautions and then restarts and all these different issues going on tonight. And obviously another big effort for your team and getting another great team finish because you guys are starting to almost run away with the team championship already.
Yeah, and it's a shame because Zach was really quick too, and just for him getting wrecked, he didn't really get a chance to get the finish he deserved. I think all of us would have been in the top 5, so hopefully next week bodes better. I'm actually not sure what track we're heading to next, but we'll see. We got to get the bad luck out of Zach's side now, but a heck of a job by Chris. I mean, just so everybody's aware, I mean, he just held people off on probably 10 lap old tires, and a track of this caliber, that's not an easy thing to do. And I've been racing with Chris for a long time. He's a darn talented race car driver. So I just want to make sure everybody understands what he just did was not easy at all.
No, it wasn't. I mean, he pitted at lap 105, and that's something that's even slid past me. But yeah, pitting at 105, and obviously you and Mark pitted at 151, and then Trey Holmes at 114. So I mean, yeah, for you guys to come in and get tires and come through the field and have a shot to win that thing, that's impressive. Not only on your guys' end to get through the field, but for Chris to hold it off. So great job on everyone's part there. But hey, man, keep the momentum going. Give some shout outs to whoever you like to.
Yeah, being this is the throwback race, we didn't get a chance to paint throwbacks, but he's not with us anymore. But my mom's dad wanted to give a throwback shout out to him, a throwback. The reason we race Pontiacs in this series is because his car, when he passed, was my first ever car. It was an 04 Pontiac Grand Prix GT, and that's why we race Pontiacs. Pontiac power is something we always say here at 2511. They're putting us up front nearly every week, so we live and die by that Pontiac, Chris. Means a lot to my family, so just wanted to extend that tradition to him. This one was for him. Wish I could have brought it home for him tonight, but we'll get him next week.
Nothing wrong with that, my man. And obviously, sorry about the loss, family-wise and stuff like that. But no, those are always cool stories to hear and that kind of thing. And it's always cool to see a Pontiac back on track like the good old days. And
no, he's been gone for years, and I know he's laughing up there right now when I'm talking Pontiac power. So I know he's having he's in Margaritaville somewhere. It's 5 o'clock somewhere where he's at right now. I know for sure.
as always. But still, man, great job tonight, and you have to go celebrate. And by the way, you're at Nashville Fairgrounds next week. It doesn't get easier.
No, we got to really practice then if that's the case. All right. Well, thank you so much, Chris. I'll let you get on with the other
you're
interviews.
fine.
Thanks for having me.
You too, Brandon. Thank you, buddy. Brandon Barkuski, third place finisher tonight. As the good news here tonight is he did get rear-ended at one point in this race, but he was able to save it, and he come all out there after taking tires and unfortunately just runs out of time there. Mark Whitley, you made the move for the lead. Unfortunately, the crossover was able to happen, and you come up one position short, but I'm assuming there's still a little bit of happiness, I would think, to finally have that bad luck out of the way.
Yeah, I'm tickled to run second finally. The funny part is on that last green-white checker, my spotter was like, all right, if you're content running second, don't put it in the wall. If you get a run on them, do what you want to do. And literally we crossed the line on coming to the white flag, going into one. He's like, all right, if you're cool, run second, just sit there. If you're not, send it. Got to run off a 2, and all I heard in my ear down the back straightaway was, do it. And there's only one thing I'd have changed, because when I went in there, I dove it in there. I've done that a couple times in the race, and it stuck, so I knew it would stick. But I got back to the gas real early, trying to make sure I cleared up and tried to make him have to check up. But I wish I wouldn't have done that, because I didn't realize it until I went back and watched replay. He actually got in the wall, and if I'd have run that like I had been, I think I'd have had enough momentum where he couldn't have crossed me under. We would have won the race. But I didn't realize he got up there and hit the wall, and I don't know how I didn't, because when I gassed it up probably 300 feet early in the middle of the corner and somehow didn't touch the wall. So I'll take it. That was a hell of a finish. We almost had Ricky Craven and Kurt Busch there.
I was ready for it.
Almost. I'm just happy. Like the race, I don't know what happened. Our car, I was trying to save tires out there running the lead, and I don't know if I was taking it too easy and just eat the right front up or what, but it just fell off a cliff after about 25 laps, and we were just hanging on. So we were really wanting short runs, and we got them at the end, and thankfully we were able to avoid all the carnage of those restart wrecks and got in a good position and got in the right line and just sent it pretty much. Just licked the stamp and sent it, and it stuck. And second place after all these bad finishes, I'll take it. Wanted to win, but after all the bad luck we've had, second place, it feels like a win, honestly.
Yeah, absolutely, and totally understandable there. But great racing on your part. I would have to say though, if in case you didn't know, the winner was actually in a Pontiac. And as you know, in that Ricky Craven, Kurt Busch deal, a Pontiac won that race.
Yeah.
Just bringing that up for the sake of you might have still finished second. But
yeah,
it's all good. It all works out, man. Still, great effort. I know you're happy about it. I'm sure your team owner, who hasn't commented yet over here, or your painter, I don't know what his exact position is to the team, but obviously it's great luck, and now you go to Nashville next week. That's got to feel pretty good.
Yeah. Remind me, is it the Super Speedway or the short track?
I should have said Fairgrounds.
Oh, thankfully, I love that track. So hopefully, I like the track, but with these cars, hopefully, like I said earlier, I just hope nobody gets me in the rear. And it happened earlier in the race, but that's just because it got so tight. 28 didn't have anywhere to go and just backed me up a little bit. But that was just, that was all right. That was just a little nudge, and everybody kept it going. That's fine. Just don't want to get turned around sideways. Like I know I saw one of those wrecks in my mirror. Somebody was literally facing backwards by the time they hit the wall. They got turned around so quick. I'm like, ooh.
Yeah, there was a
I know how that
few.
feels.
There's a few of those tonight. Unfortunately, the rear bumpers are not agreeing with the front bumpers right now this season. Let's put it like that. But great job, and send some shout outs.
Oh yeah, shout out Brantley Harpoon Design. He's the guy that does all the paint schemes, and he's also the spotter. He's the one that was yelling in my ear going down the back straightaway. He'd say, "Send it, do it." I mean, I'm telling you, all the way down the back straightaway, send it, do it.
If you don't, you're fired. 10-4.
I'm like, you're supposed to be the one telling me to cool it and not wreck the car. But yeah, shout out him. He does awesome, amazing work. He put this throwback together literally in about an hour and a half, 2 hours. I mean, he put it together really quick. So, wasn't able to get the win with it, but I'll take it. Check him out at harpoondesign.com. He's also got almost 2,000 paints on Trading Paint. So if you want to just check out some of his previous work, he's got something for pretty much any race car on there. So check him out on there. And shout out to my other teammates. They're not in this league, but appreciate their support. I know Joe Mad Dog over there. He was watching the race. Finally finished a race. He was watching without getting wrecked. So maybe the bad luck monkey's off our back with that. So hopefully he can watch more of our races and we don't get any more wrecks or something. So appreciate him watching. And then I know some of my family members are tuning into the broadcast. So I appreciate them always tuning in. It's great, whenever you get a text after a race, no matter what happens, it's really appreciated. So, and I guess final shout out to you guys in the league. I know we had a lot of cautions tonight, but Darlington with this car is really difficult. So, and I think it's, I don't say bound to happen, but it's not an easy track with a very hard to drive car. So, I think everybody did a decent job. Probably some room for improvement, but I know everybody out there is top rated driver. So we'll get it all sorted and hopefully come back out here next week and improve our spot one more and get a win finally.
Absolutely, man. Well, great job tonight, and we shall talk next week in Nashville.
Sounds good.
All right, buddy. Mark Whitley, the second place finisher, comes up just a little bit short. So this man here, Christopher Heller, a Chris to Chris conversation right here, as he goes to victory lane tonight. Second career win, according to the records. Of course, you won back in Homestead in 2021. You guys took some time off, came back. And the part that totally slipped my mind until your teammate brought it up, I guess there was a lot of things going on with people distracting me with Chase Elliott updates and all these different things. So I'm calling different stuff and multitasking. Little did I miss that you actually did not pit since lap 105 and held off fresh tires to win this race.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad at the beginning because the lap times were still pretty equal, but after about the first or second yellow, when Brandon really got a run off me off the corner right before the yellow came out, I knew I was in trouble, and luckily I was able to hold those guys off on the restarts to come home with it.
I guess it's awfully fitting for you to have the Betty MGM car to make the gamble to make a move like that. The last lap, obviously, talk about that because Mark made one heck of a slider move. Went, 2 grooves down into the apron, slides it up the track. You get up into the wall, and then somehow the wall almost does its, do we call it a Bristol move, if you will, where it bounces you off the wall and allows you to get the momentum back down the track to make the move to win.
I knew right when I got back into the gas and I hit the wall, I thought my race was over. I thought I was getting stuck in it, and I peeled right off of it, and it actually helped me. I felt like I kind of gained speed there, unintentionally, of course, but I was just trying to stay on the outside of him when I got back in the gas, and I don't know. It's such a blur to me. I was just split-second decisions there.
He's like the dashboard of a cup car now. Anyways, great job, man. Talk about how it feels to win. Obviously, being back in the league now with the team, 25-11, and to go to victory lane here in the 4th race of the season. I mean, obviously, there was no telling at that time if you guys were going to race again here in the league or whatever, but you guys came back, and now you're in victory lane.
Yeah, I mean, it feels great. I mean, I wish Weeks could have been out there because I know he's really fast at this racetrack, and he's been a tough competitor all season, but I think there was storms rolling through his area, so it's unfortunate for that, but hopefully everything's going well with that. I know me and him kind of got into it last week, but hey man, I let that stuff kind of roll off my shoulder. I mean, I definitely was gonna race him hard tonight, but obviously still clean, and unfortunately he couldn't be here, but regardless of that fact, I mean, I'm just happy to get a win, and I know I kind of left the series with a win at Homestead in the final race of that season. I think it was season 2 or 3, and took a couple seasons off because school and work and stuff, but now that I'm out of school, I'm able to come back and race again with everybody here, and it just feels great to win at one of my favorite racetracks. It used to be a track that I kind of despised, but finally figured this place out, and it's a lot of fun. And I helped out Brandon. Zach helped out me most of the race, and Zach, this is probably Zach's race to win if he didn't get a little messed up with the whole wave around thing. But who knows what was going to happen with that regardless. But again, it feels good.
Well, great job tonight, man. Congratulations. Yeah, enjoy the win. And man, I'm just thinking back through that whole finish and how everything worked out. And I know Weeks had the storms. I'm right here in the southeast myself, so pretty much a lot of us got the storms, and just unlucky for him. But great job tonight, man. And I'm blanking here for a second. Did I give you a chance to give shout outs? If not, go ahead.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was gonna give a shout out to Brandon and Zach for being here, and the other team who's racing in Great Lakes Truck Series as well. Those guys are getting ready to start their season, and Zach's racing in that as well on Tuesday nights. So good luck to those guys, and thank you for putting on the broadcast, and thank you to Casey and the rest of the admin group for running a fantastic league here.
You make me laugh. Only reason I chuckled there is you mentioned that series, and yet the league I used to broadcast on Wednesday is a similar named league to that league, and the team it's a whole long story to that. But anyways, great job tonight, man. Go celebrate. You got win number 2, and let's see if we can get you some more this season, bud.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you.
You too, buddy. Christopher Heller with a win tonight at Darlington Raceway. As I've once learned from racing at this track, if you fail to like Darlington, you will never be successful here. Period. And you'll notice most people that are good at a track like this is people that like the track, because they know how to race it, they know how to treat it, and so on and so forth. It was a wild 4th week of the season, and I'm sure there's going to be some talking going on and some different things, but we go on. Next week, the Nashville Fairgrounds is where we will be for round number 5, Music City, on the, I think it's, 6/10 of a mile short track. Next week's a good week for you to come and watch, because you'll see why Darrell Waltrip always hyped up this track. You'll see why Dale Jr. wants racing at the fairgrounds. And you'll see a good show next week in Nashville. I'm looking forward to that. 8:15 next Friday night. Should be a lot of fun. And make sure you hit up the All American ARCA Series on Facebook. And of course, big shout out to Whiteriver LLC for sponsoring the league. A big shout out to all the fans, the viewers for watching. As I've seen, I think I'm up to 855 now, but hopefully that number will keep growing. Subscriber-wise, let's get it to 1,000. That's my challenge to everybody. If we get it to 1,000, I will find something to give away. And maybe I'll buy race tickets to a track or something. I'll figure something out. We got to get to 1,000 subscribers, though, to do it. All right. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Appreciate Whiteriver LLC, as I mentioned. Appreciate frontstretch.com. I would suggest giving them a like on social media and stuff on YouTube, and definitely keep track, especially with the Chase Elliott news that broke here tonight. So make sure you do that. So with that said, I'm heading out. Always remember, this isn't just a game. It's iRacing. See ya!
Searching for greatness in a sea of the dying and shameless. A sea of the aimless. I don't wanna be one of the nameless. I'ma wake up with the mindset that one day I'm gonna make it. And I don't think I'll be fine if I don't break my limitations. Don't try to stop me, I exist to write my own story. I'll make a decision if I want some peace or if I want the glory. Yeah, don't want a life that is complacent or possibly boring. I just want a life that is worth every day exploring.
My whole life I just wanted someone who would notice me. My whole life I just wanted to be somebody. be great.